Hey there fellow guitarists and welcome to One Keys. As you're learning the guitar, you might reach a certain point where you don't know what else to learn or you just don't feel like there's any more room for improvement. So today, I want to go over some checkpoints that you can use as guidelines for you to be able to test yourself and find out what you can do as well as what you're not used to yet on the guitar. So let me get my guitar and let's get started. Alright, number 1. Be flexible in your strumming patterns. Strumming is very important, and as a guitarist, you'll need to learn how to strum at some point. So you can start out by learning basic strumming patterns in the beginning, and it'll really help you get used to strumming on the guitar. But as you get more and more used to it, you shouldn't go about learning how to strum by learning specific patterns for every single song that you listen to. Instead, what you should be able to do is creating your own pattern that matches the style of the song, whether it's pop, jazz, rock, country, or whatever other genre that it might be. So, let's take a popular tune. For example, Let It Be by the Beatles. It's a very soft and relaxed type of tune, and if I were to play along to the song, it would sound something like this. When I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. You can see that I'm not jamming on the strings, and the pattern that I'm using goes pretty well with the song. So you should always try to experiment creating different patterns that you like and seeing which ones match the style of the song that you want to play. Also note that you don't want to use a general pattern that you learn for all the songs that you hear, because there's a high chance that it might not match up with the song that you want to play. So for example, if I play the same song like this, when I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me. No, just no. That ruins the mood of the song, and it's really not how the song was meant to be played. So always try to listen to the pattern that you're playing and seeing if it matches up with the song. And work on your strumming until you get used to strumming on the guitar, so that you'll be able to just instantly create a pattern for any song that you might hear. One last thing to note is that you should learn how to strum in all the different time signatures as well. The 4/4 is the most common one that exists, but there are many other songs that require you to play in different time signatures, and they all sound different. For example, the 3/4 is said to be the second to most common time signature that there is. It's counted in threes, and it sounds something like this. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. You can hear that it sounds completely different from the 4/4 that we're all used to, which sounds like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Another example is the 6/8. It sounds completely different from both the 3/4 and the 4/4. It's counted in either sixes or two groups of threes, and it sounds like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 2. And as we get to know more about time signatures, we encounter more difficult time signatures. They might sound uneven, or it might be hard to follow at first, but they're just counted in different ways. For example, the popular one is the 5/4, and it's counted in fives, or a group of 3 and then a group of 2. And it sounds something like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or it could be counted in 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. popular example is the Take 5. Moving on to number 2. Be able to play with both a pick and your fingers. Many songs have a lot of fast notes or just strumming in general that requires you to play with a pick. And the pick also has a sharper tone than when you play with your fingers. And it's used commonly in rock, where there's a lot of intense solos and a lot of strumming as well. But on the other hand, for some other songs, you'll need to play using your fingers, because you either need to play multiple strings at the same time that can't be played by just strumming, or the songs just sound better without that sharper tone that you get from the pick. One example is Dust in the Wind. Another example is Blackbird by the Beatles. Learn all the different types of chords. Some of you might say, oh, I know a lot of different chords and I don't need to learn any more of them. But there are thousands and thousands of different chords that exist, and there's always going to be new chords that you can learn, no matter what skill level you're at. So you can start from the 7 basic major chords, which are the A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. Then you can move on to the minor chords, then 7 chords, major 7s and minor 7s, augmented and diminished chords, sus4s, 6 and 2 chords, with all the inversions as well, which are chords with different bases. There are just so many more chords that you can learn and add to your chord library. And when you learn new chords and memorize them, you can add them to your chord progressions and make your progressions sound less plain and more interesting. You can do this by searching up songs that have unfamiliar chords in them, or just directly searching up the chord types and memorizing the chord shape for those types. For example, I know major 7s look like this, minor 7s look like this, and so on and so forth. Number 4, learn to improvise. As you learn the guitar, you'll have a chance to either play along to a song or just play with someone else on the guitar at the same time. And both parts can just strum and it'll sound fine, but you can make it much more interesting by having one guitar improvise over the chord progression that is playing. And you can think of improvising as kind of like making up solo as you go along the progression based on the key that it's in. So for example, if we take the C scale and use any of the notes in this scale, you can improvise over a chord progression or a song that is in the key of C. So if we take a simple chord progression in the key of C, we can improvise over it by using the notes in the C scale. So for example, thank you guys for watching this video, and I just want to mention that these are just my personal opinions on what I think makes an intermediate guitar player. But always remember that there is no end to practice because there's always something else you can practice. Just know that you're improving as long as you're practicing different things. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did, please like and hit that subscribe button. Hope you guys have a great one, and see you later.